real fast, just cut the barbecue grill down a little bit. Let it sit there and cook 2 or 3 hours, and then you will have a good job. All right, this is same block. Now we're going to repair it on the outside also. It's really not that necessary, but I just want to show you that you can repair on both sides of it. Then if you don't like the way the weld looks, you can grind it down. You grind it down where it looks neat, where it's smooth. And now this block has been cooking on this grill probably 30 minutes. I don't know, I really didn't time it. But anyway, all I want to do was bring it up to even temperature so the whole block was an even temperature. As you see, we're already getting some good done right here, right now. It's quick, but if you're going to do this cast stuff, any kind of cast, you want to do it on your barbecue grill. Propane torch puts out 2,600 degrees. It takes 1,200 degrees to melt any type of aluminum alloy. Now this, I believe, is going to be a good job. No flux needed, no acid, no gels, no rosin, no powder of any kind. Looks like it's going to be a good job. Let that cool off, but not quickly. I'm going to let it cook 2 or 3 hours there. That keeps it from being distorted, keeps it from warping, keeps it from a possible crack out even later on. Now it's that easy, but you do have to preheat the cast in a barbecue grill if you want to do a good job. And it also makes it a faster job. The block came out real well. I took it off, set it aside. Now we're going to work on this boat prop. Now this is a good boat prop. But now a lot of the boys that work out in the dirt have all their tools hard surfaced. They weld on it with a hard surfacing rod. All the backhoes, all plows and so forth, they use a hard surface on it. Well, a lot of the boys that use their props out in shallow water, they get out in the sand, they like to get up in the shallows, and they get out in the mud and the sand. They like to hard surface their props so that keep them from wearing as fast. That mud, that sand. And I've let this prop cook here for a while. Like I say, there's good reasons that you want it all to be evenly hot. Now just go around the edge of that prop, hard surface it. It shouldn't take long. These are easy jobs. The hardest part is preparation. And now after you get prepared, the job's real easy. They go real fast. You see it's just putting a hard surface around there. Real easy. It's just that easy every time. Now, when you get through, you're going to want to finish it out. You're going to want to smooth it up. It's not going to be smooth. But it's an easy job to file it, sand it down, so you have a nice hard surface there. Now that was quick. Anyone can do it. Or if you want to repair a prop that's been broken off, you do the same thing. You get this tin lid and just clamp it on to the back. And then go ahead and weld your prop up. It'll look kind of ugly when you get finished. But then you just take a file and sandpaper and you finish it out just like new. We're going to let this prop cook a little bit. We're going to weld on the other side also. I've turned the prop over. I put the tin lid on the back side, on the side that I've already worked on. Already has rod on that side. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some on this side, just so we'll have both sides hard surface. And that should go real fast, just like it did on the other side. Shouldn't be any problem. Just a propane torch. It puts out 2,600 degrees. All of them do. Right out of the hardware store. We're already starting. It's already hot. Go ahead and put that rod on there. Get the hard surface tip. You don't want it all over the rock, just out on the edges. It's an easy job. It'll save your prop. It'll make it last a whole lot longer. Now I'm gonna let that prop cook. That's a cast, that's made out of cast. I'm gonna let it cook a little while before I take it off. And then you have to get a file, sandpaper, file it down. Now you can see how easy a job this is if you're prepared. Now you do have to prepare some of these jobs. The boat job was an easy job. Did have to be prepared beforehand. The block was an easy job. Had to be prepared beforehand. That took some time. The prop had to be prepared beforehand. But after it's prepared, it's a real easy job. Now these are two dissimilar pieces of pot metal. Just real low temperature, old cheap stuff that a lot of things are made out of. A lot of car door handles, some of the old grills were made out of pot metal. This is a piece of conduit fitting. And what I'm going to weld it to is just a piece of old stapler. Two dissimilar pieces. Now I've put it down in this sand. And that's so the sand will act like a foundry mold. And in case I get the pot metal too hot, which sometimes is very likely, it won't run away. I'll still have a good shape. Let's see what we can do now. Now this may take longer to weld on than the block. Now I'm not really wanting my sand to be a heat sink, but it really is a heat sink. It takes up a lot of heat. So it takes longer to get this hot than it did that block, I imagine. Now, a propane torch puts out 2,600 degrees. It just takes 1,200 degrees to melt any type of aluminum alloy, but this right here, it may not take but 400 or 500 degrees to melt this right here. Now I've got this cavity filled with sand. I've got the stapler part completely backed up with sand, so it can't run away in case it gets too hot. Now don't get impatient. Like I say, this takes a little bit longer. But now some of that old pot metal stuff on those old cars is valuable if it can be repaired. It's not worth 10 cents if you can't repair it. See what we can do here. With this rod right here, HTS 735, a special alloy rod like no other metal you ever saw in your whole life. It just doesn't act like regular molten metal at all. No flux, no acid, no gels, no rosin, no powders of any kind. Just a propane torch. Now you don't have to use a propane torch. You can use any kind of torch you please. You can use map gas. You can use acetylene. You're just about to get started here. Just about to get started. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing on this. This is not a sure fire as welding on that block or that boat prop or that boat. Not a sure fire, baby. But you can do it. Now, if you ever want to do any pot metal, you get some old pieces of pot metal practice first. Make sure you know what you're doing. You can weld it just as I can. Doesn't take any experience. You get the rod to melt in it. It takes a little bit of experience on the pot metal to get where you can do a good job. Now, I quit talking because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. About to get it on this side. Just about. This is really a lot of fun watching this. Anyway, it welded in real good on this side. Now, as you know, it's real difficult to weld pot metal. back that whole